Well, hi, we get to talk a little bit about some of our experiences in MarketAmerica and some of the struggles that we had 24 and a half years ago. I know, contrary to most of you, your beliefs, we were not born in the front here. So we had to work our way to that, right, honey?
Yeah, we did. Well, at the time, we started in the sales business. Okay, I was selling baby picture certificates at high school. And then it just graduated up to we were selling any kind of photography package that we could put together. And that's how we met, wasn't it?
Well, I actually answered an ad in the paper to come to work as a manager trainee for his company, which was AKA sales. But it's okay. I love pictures. And so I came to work for his company, and we did good. We had a great life. We made a lot of money. I was in my early 20s, and I'm like, whoa, this is awesome. But things changed. And people started doing their own pictures, and we found our industry changing. So we had to find something else. So we started exploring multi-level marketing companies. And if you've had any experiences with those, ours have not been very pleasant at all. We tried to find things that worked in conjunction with what we were doing. We did a 3D camera, and that didn't work for us. We did a no-run pantyhose. They didn't run, but your knees would blow out, so. So we didn't want anything to do with any kind of multi-level marketing. And so we said, okay, well, we got to dig back in, and we got to start building our business again. So we went into debt, trying to come up with our own way to start our business, right?
Yeah, and then we started looking at some multi-level marketing companies. I never knew anything about them, and so I went over to a meeting to see what it was all about. And I wasn't impressed, but they talked big numbers. Right. And I decided, well, let's get involved in some of these things while we still have our photography business. And because, as Pam just told you, I'm sure, people were making their own pictures. They didn't need us anymore, right?
That's right,
yeah.
That's right. Okay.
So, then what?
It's bad when you don't know your own story, right? David, you could do this part. You could actually do this part. All right, so here's the thing. We were looking for something. And then the phone rings. We were desperate, in debt. We had taken our money to try to start up our own photo business, and we knew the banks were right because it didn't work, and we were way in debt. So the phone rings, and it's a guy that was in another multi-level marketing company that came to us with a cookie deal, lose weight with cookies. And so we were like, oh, this guy, he's a dodo bird. And
he started selling me on this new company that he was starting. And he wanted me to watch this video. I said, sure, fine, send me the video. I'll be glad to watch it as long as you promise it gets here tomorrow morning. And I was trying to burn him off. But anyway, the following morning, sure enough, it showed up, the video. And I went over to the 8-track or whatever it was that we used back then, and I plugged it in, and it was a video of JR showing the plane in the house. And I said, well, this is pretty unusual. And somebody watched it, and before you knew it, the guy was calling me back. He said, well, what'd you think? I said, well, I like it. I like what I see, and I'd like to check it out more. He says, well, we'll be showing the plane up in Philadelphia, okay, tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Yeah. And so I said, I'll come up. I want to come up and see this. And I go up, and Dennis was there, and all the Philadelphia Eagles that he was recruiting were there. And JR was there. And I said, this is fantastic. So he showed the plan, and the amazing thing about it was the plan that he showed was exactly like the video that he had sent me. I said, boy, this looks like it's very simple, duplicatable to two people. I said, I could do this. Mm-hmm. And so at that point I said, hey, man, we're in. And we shook hands, and I drove home, and I woke Pam up. She doesn't like that, 3 o'clock in the morning.
No, it's okay.
Right?
It's okay. So we were excited. We were in, and we were ready to get started. Our sponsor calls us, and he says, hey, I found something else. I'm going to start my own business. We want you to come to work with us. We said, oh, my gosh, here we go again. It's not going to work. Our dreams were shattered. And about that time, JR heard that we were looking, that this guy was leaving, and he called Tony, didn't he?
Yeah, and he says, you met with that guy, I said, yeah, he was there. He said, well, did he tell you anything bad about us? I said, well, he touched on a few things. He said, would you like to hear the truth? Would you like to hear my story? And I said, absolutely, I'd be honored. So we met at a restaurant, Theismann's restaurant over in Washington, D.C., and he cleared everything up. And I said, well, good. You know, there is one question I know I had, JR. He said, what's that? So, well, you call this a 2 to 3 year plan. Do I have to wait 3 years to get to this level? He says, no, you can move as fast as you want to go. I said, okay, we're in.
All right, so here's the thing. If you have a sponsor, consider yourself lucky. Because we did not have a sponsor. JR adopted us, you know. Here's the thing. The GMTSS, we can adopt anybody. If you want to plug in, you will be adopted. So here's the thing. We go, oh my goodness, what do? We don't have any money. JR said, come down to Greensboro and we'll teach you what to do. That was January of 1993. We're dating ourselves. And 2 things happened. They taught us about the Basic 5, and we had a flagship product introduced that year. The Basic 5, we said, oh my gosh, we can do this. This is something we can do. It doesn't depend on money. But we drove home and we realized, how are we going to do this? We're broke. So we did what any salesperson would do, right, Tony?
Well, yeah, being a salesperson, you're supposed to sell things, right? That's how we get paid, selling things. Well, Pam had a beautiful new Alante convertible.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And we sold that. And then we sold some jewelry that we didn't wear anymore. And we even emptied out our office. We had an office and we sold all that furniture. So we're selling things to make money so we could do MarketAmerica, right? So, and we weren't just at
we sold one more thing.
Okay. So we were way below zero, you know, right, Pam?
We sold our house.
Well, I was getting to that.
We sold our house. And you know what? Here was the thing. We knew that we had enough money to live on for 6 months. Now, we're not telling you to do that, but we're telling you that's what we had to do because we had to have a clear mind to work for 6 months so that we could make it in this business. And we bought a conversion van, and if we were going to go broke, we were going to live in that. That was our backup plan. And then, on top of that, if that didn't work, we were moving in with my mother, and so that wasn't an option, right? Okay.
But anyway, we have to get on the ticket
come on.
thing.
No, come on.
I love it up here. I never get
God.
down. But anyway, you know, we were banking our entire future on MarketAmerica.
Okay.
And I went to my attorney to get some advice because he's been a friend as well. And I said, Richard, here's my situation. I'm cashed out. I don't have any money, just a little bit to carry us over for 6 months. You know, what should I do? He says, well, Tony, you want to go bankrupt. This is crazy. Why are you not filing for bankruptcy? I said, well, I'll tell you why. I met a guy a few weeks ago that I was really impressed with. And I like his heart. And I like his attitude and his character. And I'm going to join this guy and his company, and I think that I'll be able to pay these bills off a year or 2 down the road. He said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll help you out. That's an honorable thing to do.
Okay.
And he said, I can keep the creditors off your back for about a year, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Right?
That's right.
That was important.
That was very important. That was very important. Okay, so here's the thing. We had our first Spring Fling in April of 1993. JR had the idea of the advisory council. He put us together in a room and he told us that we were going to have to buy 30 tickets. And that was the catch to being part of that. Well, that was a big deal for us because we were interfering with some of the money that we had for our 6 months. And so it was a big chunk. They were $50 a ticket, 30 of them. I mean, ugh. And we didn't know 30 people then, you know, so we were kind of panicking. But what did Dave Silva say?
We had a little private meeting upstairs in the hotel room, and after the discussion, I said, you know, Dave, what do you think of this, right?
Right.
He said, well, Tony, I think you just ought to pay for the tickets. Oh, we can't do this business without the tickets. And we didn't know anything about how that worked, but we learned later what a brilliant idea it is.
It was. It was the start of the GMTSS. It really was. And so that was how we got the convention going in August of 1993. JR put out a tape, and he put out a tape about how to leverage the events and how to work the events. We bought 100 tapes at $5 a piece, got them out to everyone on our team. We managed to have 60 people at that first convention. 60 people. To us, that was huge, because there was only 300 there. But here's the thing.
Hurry up.
We made... We made $14,000 in the first 6 months of the year, and then we made $121,000 in the second 6 months of the year. But why? Not because of us, but because of our team. We had someone like Frank Kiefer that came on board that said, get out of my way, Bowlings. I can do this without you. And that's what you want. So you want a team of believers. And that's what the GM TSS does. So you have to get your tickets. You need your 3 tickets. And we'll see you at International Convention.